We will see one more part here, that is the conductometric titrations. Conductometric titrations based on the conductance values. Generally, what are the titrations? Mostly we have the acid-base titrations or redox titrations, whatever it is. Overall, we will calculate the end point by using these titration methods. But using the end point, we can calculate the amount of unknown substance by knowing the amount of known substance by applying the law of equivalence, whatever it is something. But here conductometric titration. So here to identify the end point, we will use the conductance values. Normal acid-base titrations or some redox titrations case, we will use some amount of volumes and we'll add some indicators. The indicator color change will give the end point. But here the conductance values, the change in conductance values can give the end point. We can observe the end point by sudden change in the conductance values. There is a conductometric titrations. One important point here, generally ions, we have the cations and anions, and among all ions, H plus ions can show highest conductance. Among all cations, H plus can show highest conductance. It is approximately 300, 350. You can see ohm inverse, centimeter square, equivalent inverse. If you take one equivalent of H plus, it can show this much conductance. Similarly, among all anions, OH minus ion can show highest conductance. That is approximately 200 ohm inverse centimeter square equivalent inverse. So out of all ions, H plus and OH minus ions can show more contribution towards the conductance. Anyhow, again still in between H plus and OH minus, the conductance of H plus is far more than the OH minus. Why? Because H plus is very lighter ion, the ionic mobility is very high. So it can move very fast, it can show the more conductance. Come to the conductometric titration. So here in this titration, we will see the conductance values, varying the conductance values with respect to H plus ions and OH minus ion. Titration, mostly acid-base titrations we will take up here. The neutralization reaction. So H plus ions and OH minus ions, when they combine, ultimately the number of H plus and OH minus ions decreases, the conductance values will decrease. Then when they reach the end point, there you can see the sudden change, increment in the conductance values, further increasing in the H plus and OH minus values. And that can give the end values or end point. Sometimes we can call equivalence point. First one, the titration with respect to strong acid and strong base. A strong acid, strong base, best example we can take HCl, strong acid, and strong base NaOH. So for this titration, initially we will take in a beaker HCl solution, and to this if you add NaOH drop by drop, then volume of NaOH, if you keep on add it at equivalence point, at end point, the neutralization can take place. That end point we have to calculate by using the conductometric titration. So what happens when you add the NaOH, the HCl solution drop by drop in their conductance values? This we can take with respect to the graph. Let me take a graph, the conductance values on the y-axis and volume of base on the x-axis. We are adding drop by drop volume of NaOH. Initially we have HCl. HCl means H plus and Cl minus ions. Now you measure the conductance by using some conductometry. Then we can see more amount of H plus ions and more amount of Cl minus will present. Initially it can show more conductance. The conductance of HCl initially we can see at this point where the volume of base is 0. Now when you add a small drop of NaOH, then that will react with HCl, it will form NaCl and water, undissociated water. So there is no contribution for the conductance value. H2O there is no dissociation. But NaCl it can dissociate as Na plus and Cl minus. Means here H plus ion and OH minus ion. Both the ions are replaced by Na plus and Cl minus ions. So when H plus ion replaces by the Na plus, ultimately H plus can show the more conductance. But if H plus replaces, then ultimately the conductance value will decrease. So keep on, if we add NaOH, then keep on H plus ions are replaced from HCl solution. Then keep on the conductance value will decrease. Will decrease till they reach some point where so all the HCl is consumed in the container, in the beaker. Then after that still if you add one more NaOH drop, then the conductance will increase suddenly. Why? So after all consumption of HCl, what left? Only NaOH will left. NaOH means we have OH minus ions. OH minus ions also will show more conductance. Then the conductance value will increase suddenly. After addition of after all consumption of HCl, still if you add NaOH, the conductance value increases. And here you can observe some sudden change, this point. So where the sudden change observed between the increasing or decreasing of conductance values. If you extrapolate this curve like this and extrapolate this curve like this, you can see somewhere they can intersect. And this is the end point. So by using this conductance graph, we can identify the end point. So this is the end point. This is the volume of base required exactly to neutralize HCl. This is the volume. Then we can calculate what is the amount of HCl is present in that. So this slope and this graph indicates that a decrement in H plus ions, decreasing in H plus ion concentration, and this graph represents increasing in OH minus ion concentration. So H plus concentration decreases, conductance decreases, it will reach the end point. But after that again if you add OH minus, again due to the OH minus ion, the conductance will increase. So this is strong gases, strong base graph. So mostly in examination they will ask you about the graph, how the graph look like for strong acid and strong base case in a conductometric titration. Conductance versus a volume of base added. You can take the same also reverse when you take NaOH in the beaker and if you add HCl from the burette. Here conductance. This is a reverse. Here volume of acid. Again initially we have NaOH due to the OH minus ion, the conductance is more. By adding acid, slowly the conductance will decrease. Again they will reach some end point. Then after again if you add some more excess HCl, the conductance value will increase. So whether you take for strong acid or strong base, whether you for acid versus base or base versus acid, you will get the graph same only. Graph looks the same. Conductometric graph. This is first one, titration. Here main focus is on the graph. And the second, strong acid versus weak base. Strong acid versus weak base. Again strong acid, let us take HCl, and weak base ammonium hydroxide. In the beaker, let us take strong acid, and to this we add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop. Then what changes we can observe with respect to the conductometric graph. You can see the graph here. Conductance versus volume of base. Anyhow, initially we have the HCl. It will show the more conductance. We have HCl only. To this we are adding ammonium hydroxide. When you add ammonium hydroxide will react with HCl. It will form ammonium chloride. Then the conductance value decreases. Anyhow, HCl, H plus ions are replaced by ammonium ions, then conductance value will decrease till to reach the end point. Then after all consumption of HCl, still if you add ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. A weak base cannot show much conductance because less number of ions can dissociate it. Weak electrolytes conductance is very less. So then you can see the graph like this. You cannot observe much change after end point, almost a straight line. And this is a decrement due to the decreasing in concentration of H plus ions. And this is the graph you can observe after the end point, the addition of this ammonium hydroxide. And this is called end point. This is a end point. Second graph. Let us see third graph. Weak acid versus strong base. Weak acid versus strong base. It is almost similar to the same previous, only whether you take a reverse case, means weak base and strong acid. Like that. Anyhow, weak acid acetic acid and a strong base, let me take sodium hydroxide. Again the conductometric graph. Initially we have the acetic acid in the beaker. To this you add drop by drop NaOH. Then acetic acid will be consumed. By addition of NaOH, it will be converted into the sodium acetate. Anyhow, acetic acid initially a weak electrolyte, less conductance. Like previous case, it still is a stronger acid, more conductance, but it has a less conductance. Volume of base. So initially when you add this NaOH, the conductance suddenly decreases sharp, but this is very negligible point. Then after, the conductance value will increase. You can see the change like this. This small portion, you can ignore this part. This portion we can ignore. Subtle decrement in the conductance, and after that it will increase. When you add NaOH to the acetic acid, now this acetic acid is slowly replaced by the sodium acetate. We know that sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte. It can give ions like CH3CO- and Na+. So the sodium acetate ions can show more conductance than the acetic acid when you add a small drop of NaOH. So here, that is why the conductance value will increase initially. Then still if you add NaOH, to this the end point, and after that still if you add some more NaOH, there is no more acetic acid. All the acetic acid is consumed. Then if you add one more extra drop of NaOH, now the solution contains excess of OH minus ions, and this OH minus ions will give the more conductance. You can see sudden change in the conductance value here. Now this point, this is the graph actually, like this side, and this is the graph, and this is the intersection point, and this is called end point. So here to here, and this portion and this graph indicates the due to the conductance of acetate ions, and this is due to sodium acetate, formation of sodium acetate, that graph increases, and this is due to the excess of OH minus ion concentration. Anyhow, this is the end point. You will get the graph like. What is this small portion? Why suddenly it will decrease initially? Initially acetic acid, it can give a few amount of free H plus ions. Anyhow, it can undergo some at least 5%, 6% dissociation, it will give some 5% H plus ions. When you add that NaOH to that acetic acid, immediately the free H plus ions will react, whatever the H plus ions left in that solution. So that is why sudden decrement you can observe here, and this is due to free H plus ions. They are very less in number because weak acetic acid. That is, this portion you can ignore, means almost you can take the graph like this. If they mention in exam, you can take. This is a graph for weak acid and strong base. Like this graph you can take. And this is the end point. Weak acid versus strong base graph. But if you take reverse, what happens? Means strong base versus weak acid. In the beaker you take NaOH, and to this if you add acetic acid. Then you can see the graph here. Conductance here, volume of acid. Weak acid this is. Anyhow, sodium hydroxide, it has a more conductance initially. Somewhere here. And to this, if you add acetic acid, ultimately the conductance value decreases slowly. Again, it will, like previous strong acid versus weak base graph, same graph will get. The conductance decreases and almost constant. And this is weak acid versus strong base graph. Next, fourth type, weak acid versus weak base. Weak acid acetic acid and weak base ammonium hydroxide. Again, let me take the graph, conductance, and here let me take volume of base. Again, in the beaker acetic acid initially, and to this acetic acid if you add ammonium hydroxide. Anyhow, acetic acid, it will show the less conductance. When you add ammonium hydroxide, the weaker base, it will form ammonium acetate, salt. Means what? Here acetic acid is replacing the ammonium acetate, or ammonium acetate replaces the acetic acid. When ammonium acetate replaces acetic acid, and conductance values increase or decrease. Acetic acid is a weak electrolyte, but ammonium acetate is a strong electrolyte. Here weak electrolyte is replacing the strong electrolyte. So conductance value will increase slowly. Till all the consumption of acetic acid. There is no more acetic acid. It is consumed. Now if you add extra ammonium hydroxide drop. So ammonium hydroxide, again this is a weak electrolyte. You cannot see the further change. Almost the line will get straight line. Again, this is the point where the intersection. This is called end point for weak acid and weak base. So what is this portion? And this portion indicates the formation of ammonium acetate. So after that there is no. This formation of ammonium acetate is stopped. Why? Because there is no more acetic acid and only ammonium hydroxide we have. This is a weak electrolyte. This kind of the graph you can observe here. Again, you should remember the graph, how it look like for weak acid and weak base. And the next, fifth. If you take the combination of strong acid plus weak acid versus strong base, means what? Mixture of HCl and acetic acid, strong acid, weak acid mixture, that will do the titration with strong base sodium hydroxide. Then how the graph look like in this case? Again, let me take the conductance, volume of NaOH or volume of base. Again, in the beaker we have both HCl and acetic acid. To this if you add NaOH, So first equivalence point. First this NaOH will react with the stronger acid HCl. HCl and NaOH reaction can take place. And then it will form NaCl, water. So first NaOH consumes all HCl present in the mixture. Then ultimately the conductance value decreases. The graph will get like the first case, like a strong acid versus strong base. It will decrease up to the point like this. Then after first equivalence point, next again this NaOH now react with the acetic acid, that is a weaker acid. Then it will form sodium acetate. And we know that when acetic acid reacts with NaOH, the conductance drop. Initially it will increase slightly. Why? That is due to the replacement of acetic acid by sodium acetate. Still, after consumption of HCl and acetic acid, still if you add NaOH, then again the conductance will increase suddenly. This is the increment is due to the OH minus ions. And this portion here to here represents decreasing in concentration of H plus ions. And this portion here to here indicates the increasing in concentration of OH minus ions. But here to here this portion is due to the formation of sodium acetate. Means we have two end points in this case. First end point that indicates the all complete consumption of HCl, and the second end point this indicates the complete consumption of acetic acid. This is indicates end point for HCl, and this is the end point for acetic acid. So this is a graph for strong acid, weak acid combination with a strong base. So one more last graph here with the precipitation reactions.
Sir, once can you move?
So precipitation, conductometric titration for precipitation reactions. Here let us take KCl versus silver nitrate. You take KCl in the beaker. To the KCl, if we add AgNO3, silver nitrate, slowly. Then what happens when you add AgNO3 to the KCl? Immediately precipitate of AgCl can be formed, and you can see potassium nitrate formation. This graph. And for this, the graph will be like this. Again, this is the conductance, and here volume of silver nitrate. When you add a small amount of silver nitrate to the KCl, it will give AgCl precipitate and potassium nitrate. So initially this KCl is replaced by potassium nitrate. AgCl anyhow it will not contribute, no conductant, it is a precipitate only. It cannot form any ions, so no contribution towards the molar conductance. So here when you add AgNO3, KCl can give KNO3. So there is K plus ion almost same, only Cl minus and NO3 minus, they interchange. So you cannot see much change initially. So anyhow, KCl initially it has more conductance. When you add AgNO3, there is no change initially, almost constant. When till to consume all KCl, we are adding AgNO3 drop by drop. Let us assume all the KCl is consumed. Then still if you add AgNO3, anyhow the solution AgCl, KNO3 is there, and to that we are adding extra silver nitrate. Now AgNO3 can give Ag plus and NO3 minus ions. So this can show the more conductance. Now the conductance value will increase suddenly. So this is the where the sudden change you can observe. This is called end point. And this is due to the excess of AgNO3. And this graph due to the formation of KNO3, precipitation reaction. Up to this indicates the precipitation reaction. No change here. Softer precipitation reaction, this is due to the AgNO3, extra addition of AgNO3 you can see. Okay, this is the conductometric graph for precipitation reactions, KCl versus AgNO3. This is conductometric titration with respect to various acid-base titrations and precipitation reactions. Okay, I will stop the class here.